I hope you all are good. Okay, so let's check what we have discussed in the last session. In the last session, we have just given introduction about what is DevOps and why we are going to learn DevOps on cloud platform and which cloud we are going to use here and what are the services which we are going to learn and tools in this particular trip. This is what we have discussed in our previous session. And if you join this particular course, what are the things you will get from our site? In today's session, we are going to learn about how we can create our AWS account. But before that, I'm going to share some details in the chat box. I'm sharing a WhatsApp group link in the chat box. If you are not there in our WhatsApp group of this DevOps 182 batch, you can join by using the link which is shared in the chat box. And I'm again going to share a course content link. And with this, I'm also going to share my team contact details. If you have any doubt related to training, you can ask them. But if you have any technical queries, you only need to email me. So I'm sharing my email ID to you guys also. So whenever you're doing practice, if you have any questions or when you get stuck there somewhere while practicing, you are getting some error message, you can email me with the screenshot. And in today's session, we'll start with AWS account. But before starting of this particular topic, any question anyone have, please let me know. Yes, Abhishek.
Ankit, I have just one question.
Yes,
Which DevOps is good, like Azure DevOps or AWS DevOps?
both are good.
I mean, for Azure DevOps, they use like their own pipelines and
Yes,
all the things. And for
correct.
AWS, they use the DevOps tools, correct?
They are using Jenkins. Even AWS has their own pipeline also, but less than 1% clients are using their own pipeline. That is called as AWS pipeline.
Okay, so for job perspective, AWS DevOps is having more jobs than Azure.
No, the current situation, both are equal right now.
Yeah,
So
like
both,
because if I go with this course, then I can
mm,
apply for both AWS DevOps also
mm,
and just DevOps also.
yes, you can just apply for just DevOps. You can't apply for Azure DevOps.
Okay, okay. So there will be like if there is opening for only DevOps, like there is no
That one
AWS or
is, you
yeah.
can apply for DevOps also, but for that one, you are going to work on premises.
Okay, okay,
Okay, you can't apply for Azure DevOps. Okay, the reason is because their services, even the one which we are learning here in DevOps or Kubernetes, that services are different. And
okay,
Terraform also completely different in both the clouds.
okay. So
Yes.
as I am a system admin right now, working as an system admin and VMware, so how much experience I can give after this course?
After just if you go only with AWS DevOps, you can put 2.5 years of experience.
Okay,
Or in
okay.
future, if you go with AWS Associate also, if you have that
Mhm,
knowledge also, with both
mhm.
the knowledge, you can put 4 years of experience.
Okay, Ankit.
Okay.
Thank, thank you.
Yes. Anyone have any? Okay, someone has more question. Yes, Armstrong, you can unmute.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I want to ask. I'm new, and I'm from Cameroon. So I want to ask, what kind of job can I have? Would I have when at the end of the session of these classes? Because I'm new here and I was introduced to the class by
After
by somebody.
Armstrong, after completion of this training, you can apply for DevOps jobs.
Okay, so am I going to get any certification
You
after
will
the
get a
after this training?
course completion certificate from our side. And for that one,
Okay,
you don't need to give any exam. Once the batch is going to be complete, next day, system will generate a course completion certificate for you.
okay, okay.
Okay.
All right. So are we going to write any quiz
Are we going to
or
write any?
any exam for
From
the
our
for the
side, there is no exam.
Okay, okay. All right, thank
Okay.
you. That's what I wanted to know.
Thank you. Anyone have any more questions? No questions. So we'll start with learning now how we can create our AWS account. To create your AWS account, first of all, you need to go to the link which is mentioned in my PPT, or you can just go to a website called aws.amazon.com. Now here we have an option of sign in. Now when I click on sign in, definitely we don't have our account. So what we need to do, we need to create an account. So here in the below, we got an option to create a new AWS account. You can come like this also, or the link which is shared in my PPT, I am sharing this link in the chat box. You can click on this link. With the help of this link also, you can create your AWS. And to create your AWS account, we have some steps we need to follow. The first step is we need to give our email ID. And it can be any email, Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, any of your personal email ID you can enter. And then you need to give an AWS account name. AWS account name must be unique globally. Globally in the sense means I have my AWS account with the name Ankit 199. Like with this name. Can I create one more account with this same name? Not possible. So the name, whatever we are giving it, that name needs to be unique globally. And then click on verify email address. When we click on verify email address, system is going to send one OTP to our email. That particular OTP we need to enter here and click on free. Once we enter the OTP, now we need to enter the password. Here you can enter your password and again you can confirm your password. Is there any rules and regulations for password? Yes, we have some. Your password must at least 8 characters long, maximum 128 characters. Contain at least 3 of the following: uppercase, lowercase, number, non-alphanumeric. Out of these 4, at least 3 of the things we need to follow. And after giving of the password, we are going to complete our first step. In first step, you need to give your email ID, your account name, you need to validate your email, and then you need to enter your password. So after those 5 steps, your first step is going to complete. Now click on continue. Now when I click on continue, here it is asking us that which type of plan we want to select. We want to select a business plan or personal. always select a personal plan for your own project. If you go with business plan, you need to select some plans, and those are chargeable plans. Paid plans mean that minimum bill you will get from their side. But in personal one, we have an option. We can select a free plan. So we will not get any minimum bill from our side. Next step. We need to enter our full name, our phone number, country, address, postal. Postal code means PIN. And then we need to check this checkbox. If you want, you can read the terms and conditions also. And then click on continue. Once we click on continue, here we need to enter our card details. Debit card or credit. Any one card you can enter here. So card number, first you need to enter, then expiry details, card holder name, serial. And one important point. In India, few people have RuPay card also. AWS does not support RuPay card. AWS does not support RuPay card. It only accepts Visa or Master card. And to create your AWS account, you need to enable international transactions. By default in India, every account is disabled with international transaction by default. You need to check your mobile banking or you need to check your internet banking. With the help of that, you can enable international transactions. And you don't need to enable for thousands of rupees, just for 100 rupees, you can enable, or for 10 rupees also you can enable. Because to create your AWS account, they are going to deduct only 2 rupees from your account. And the 2 rupees also you will get a refund in 3 to 5 days. And here in the below, we have an option to enter our PAN card. It is not mandatory. So you can leave this particular option and then click on verify and continue. When we click on verify and continue, it will ask for an OTP to deduct those 2 rupees. So you can enter the OTP and click on submit. Next step. Now we need to confirm our mobile. In step 1, we have confirmed our email ID. In step 4, we are going to confirm our mobile. So select your country code, enter your phone number, enter the security check here. And we have 2 options to validate our mobile via SMS or call. Whichever you feel comfortable, just select that particular option and click in the below. Based on that, you will get a call or SMS to validate your mobile. And then click on continue. When I click on continue, here we are getting a plan. We have selected personal plan. That's why it is giving us an option to get basic support free plan. So in this basic support free plan, there is no minimum bill we will receive. But we have some other plan also, developer support, business support. In this one, we'll get this minimum bill, $29 per month, $100 per month. The minimum bill we will receive. In this one, we'll get some support from AWS side also. But We don't want any support. We are for learning purpose. So always select basic support free plan. And then complete sign. Once we click on complete sign up, go to AWS Management Console. And here we have a select role interested. Role is I'm interested in. Always select personal here. For personal use, we are going to use. So select as personal. And then click on submit. Once we click on submit, sometime your account is going to activate within 2 minutes. Sometime it will take near about 2 hours also. Very rarely nowadays it takes 2 to 3 hours. Most of the time within 2 minutes, system is going to activate your account. And when you log into your account, this is how your account looks. So this is how we can create our account. But whenever we are going to create our account, is all services are paid services? Or do we get any services which are coming under free tier also? So we can practice freely without any charges? Yes, we have. We have 3 offers there. Few services which are coming under 12 months free. Few services which are coming under always free. Always free means lifetime free. Or few services which are coming under trial period. Now, it doesn't mean that if coming under 12 months free, we have unlimited free. No. Under 12 months also, they have given a condition that we need to use this particular specific type and only for this much of time period, like for few hours in this particular month, you have free. And don't worry, we can check that also how many hours or how many requests are pending. We can check those details also. Those details are getting in our AWS account. And few services are always free for lifetime. And the trial one. Trial one means that particular service is free for 15 days, for 30 days, or for 2 months. Like this, we are getting only for trial period. How can I get information that which service is coming under 12 months free, which service coming under always free, or which service coming under trial period? Here we have that list also with this. First of all, I'm going to share this link in the chat box. Scroll down. See here, these 3 offers, we have seen it right now in my PPT. Free trial, 12 months, always free. Here the first service which we are getting is Amazon EC2. For how many days it is free? For 12 months it is free. 750 hours per month. Then we have AWS service called S3, 5 GB for 12 months. RDS, 750 hours per month, 12 months. So here we are getting how many services we have. Here we have all the details. Let's discuss with EC2. In this one also, they have clearly mentioned the type. What is it? This is type. T2.micro, T3.micro, T4G.micro. Don't worry, these type we'll discuss in upcoming session. They have mentioned it. If you are going to use these types, then we have a free quota. Other than these type, if you're going to use any other type, then we will get a legal effect. And like this, we have for database RDS service also, they have mentioned the types. Here we are getting the types. And we have a filter option also, we can filter it, always free. Here, DynamoDB set 225 GB, always free. Lambda, 1 million requests per month. SNS, 1 million requests are free. Trial one. Here. 2 months, 40 hours. So here we have the services which are only free for few period of time. We can filter by using tier type also, or directly we can search also. So now I have searched one. So it's a Docker service, which we are going to learn in our upcoming session. ECR, Elastic Container Registry. In this one, 500 MB of the storage we can use it for 12 months. Maximum 500. If we go with more than 500, then they are going to charge us. Now, any question anyone have, please raise your hand. Any question anyone have? Please raise your hand, guys, if you have any question. Yes, Ramakrishna, you can unmute.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Rama.
So just wanted to ask you is that I know this is a course, maybe everything cannot be covered out, but from the certification point of view, okay, will there be any guidance which will be provided by you? Hello.
Yes, Rama.
So there will be any set of guidance from the certification point of view will be provided.
Yes, if you might be remember it, Rama, that we have informed that we are going to share a dump with you. So with the help of dump, you can easily clear your certification. Here is it. I have
I
mentioned.
understand the dump, but the guidance is much necessity in terms of
Which type of guidance you are looking for, Rama?
so there are two.
That how to write exam?
No, not write exam. I know the set of questions will be there in the dump, and there will be a comprehensive set of knowledge in that. But when it comes out to be in terms of how to get prepared, just
So
some.
just learn it. There is not not terminology or anything special. You need to do it. Whatever the questions in the dump, just learn it, and with the help of that, you can easily clear the certification.
Okay.
There is no nothing you need to do special for that.
No,
A lot
because-
of people are clearing the certificate just learning by using the dump.
Okay, because some set of hands-on or maybe some set of practical hands-on practices.
Practical, we are going to learn in the training.
Okay.
That's the practicals we are going to learn in the training, Rama. Okay. Because for clearing the certification, you need theory knowledge. And this is not a theory training, this is a completely a practical training.
No, you must have seen a bit of the set of questionnaires as compared to in generic. You have seen
No,
it.
that's what I'm saying it for certification, Rama, you need theory knowledge.
Okay.
But for clearing the interview and to work in real time, you don't need theory knowledge. You need a practical knowledge.
Practical knowledge.
And this is practical training.
Correct. I agree.
Okay, so that's why for that one, clearing the certification, you can go with the dump. And to clear this AWS Devops certification, it is mandatory to have associate level certification first.
True, true.
Okay, this one is coming under professional level.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Anyone have any more questions? No. No questions. So now we can start our first AWS service called EC2. Now, what is EC2? So let me first of all log into my AWS account. Now I'm able to log into my AWS account, and this is how it looks like. Just a minute. This is how it looks like. And here I'm able to see the recently visited service which I have done. And now we are going to discuss about EC2. What is EC2? EC2 stands for Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. It's a virtual server which we are going to create on AWS infrastructure. Like I have my computer. I want to say create a with same configuration, one more computer in AWS infrastructure. Can I create that? Yes, I can create one more computer on AWS infrastructure, which I can access from my own local machine. We can create any type of virtual server on AWS infrastructure. In our normal language, we call it as virtual machine, but in AWS, it is called as EC2. Now, which type of operating system that computer is supporting, which we are going to create in Amazon? Here is the list of operating system it is supporting. Amazon Linux, Ubuntu, Oracle Linux, Mac, CentOS, Debian. So there are different types of operating system which is support in AWS. Which one we are going to learn? I'm going to show you about how we can create a Linux EC2 machine. Because to learn about DevOps, we need to know about the Linux one. Because in real time, we are not working on Windows. We are majorly working on Linux-based EC2 machines. So we need to learn about how we can create a virtual server, means like a complete server I want to create on AWS infrastructure. Now, whenever we log into our AWS account, the first thing what we need to do is we need to select a region, in which particular region I want to create that particular EC2 machine. Region means in which particular data center. If you see here in my AWS account, right hand side in the top, by default system has selected Mumbai, because for my previous patches also I have used Mumbai. So it is by default coming the same region which I have selected last. But if you see here I'm getting the list of regions. Few are enabled region and few are disabled region. What are these disabled region? The newly launched region, whichever we have, these are disabled right now in my AWS account. And by default, it is disabled in your AWS account also. We need to manually enable these accounts, these regions in my AWS account. But just for practice purpose, it is not required. In real time, if your client wants, we can enable. So which service we are going to learn about? EC. If you see here in my account, it is already showing us recently visited. It is showing here also, but might be in your AWS account, it will not show you. So what you can do, you can search it and see what is the tagline: virtual servers in the cloud. So click on instance. And if you see here in my system, I already have 5 EC2 machines, which I was using for my another DevOps task. So what we need to do now, we need to launch a machine. So click on launch instance. So here we have on right hand side, so click on launch instance. And to create this particular machine, we have some steps to follow. The first thing is we need to give the name to this machine. It can be any name. It is not mandatory to be unique name. It can be any name you can give to this particular machine. I'm giving the name as Linux 182. And to create any server, or let's say example, I'm a normal person, I'm going to go to purchase a computer. What are the very basic thing every person is going to be check? Let's example, the person is not a technical savvy, he don't have much information about technical, but definitely the person who is going to buy any computer is going to check some things. Can you please confirm in the chat box what are the very basic thing every person is going to check whenever he's purchasing a computer or a laptop? Whichever you feel that definitely is going to be checked. A normal person, not a person who is technical savvy. Correct. RAM, hard disk, operating system, and CPU. So these are the very basic thing every person is going to check. Other than that, what are the other another we have? It is not going to check those things. He is not aware of that one. Even to create a virtual server in AWS cloud platform, these are the mandatory things. Without these 4 things, it is impossible to create any server in AWS cloud platform. And which operating system we are going to use? Linux-based operating system. We have multiple types of Linux-based operating system we have. Which one I'm going to use? I'm going to use Ubuntu. Scroll down. So the first step, what we need to do is we need to select operating system. In our daily life, we call it operating system, but in AWS, it is not called as operating system. In AWS, it is called as AMI. Amazon Machine Image. I know that you guys are not aware of this particular technical word, and no one can remember these technical words in one single day. But from now, you need to slowly remember these technical words also. And the first technical word which we are going to use here is that this is specific to AWS AMI. Amazon Machine Image. If you want to make a note down just to remember these technical words, you can make your notes also, whichever you feel comfortable. We have one Amazon Linux also. We can select Amazon Linux also. If you see here, the first one is Amazon Linux. Second one is Mac. Third one is Ubuntu. I'm going to select Ubuntu. Under Ubuntu also, we have different versions. 22.04. We have 20.04 also. We have other different types of versions also. 18 also we have. Which one I'm going to use? I need to use the one which is coming under free tier. So this Ubuntu 22.04 is coming under free. We have some other types of operating systems also. Those are not coming under our free tier. But make sure you are going to select the one which is coming under free. If you are going to select any other type, you will get a bill for that. So first step we have completed. We have selected our operating system, means AMI. Scroll down. Second type is instance type we need to select. Let's take example, my requirement is 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM. This is my requirement. And here we have different types. We have T2.nano, T2.micro, T2.small. If I scroll down, here I got G4DN.xlarge. Under these different types, we are getting it CPU and RAM. If you see here, by default, it is selecting T2.micro. In this one, it is giving me 1 CPU and 1 GB. And this one is coming under free tier eligible. I have other types also. Scroll down. See here, I have T2.medium. If I select T2.medium, how much CPU got? 2 CPU and 4 GB of the RAM I will get here. So depend on the instance type we are getting. Now, so here, which type I'm going to select? Just a minute. Let me select. System is taking some time. So I'm going to select T2.micro because T2.micro is coming under our free tier. And make sure, guys, whenever you're doing practice, you can also select T2.micro. But if you might be remember, just few minutes before, I have given you one link also. Let me open that link again. So let me scroll up. Here I'm getting the link. The first service name is EC2. 750 hours per month for Linux, T2.micro or T3.micro. Depend on region. So depend on region. System is giving us in few regions we are getting type T2.micro. In few regions we are getting T3.micro. And even in new regions, we got T4G.small also. I'm using Mumbai region. So as per Mumbai region, the type needs to be T2.micro. Next step is we need to get key pair. What is this key pair? With the help of this key pair, I can connect to my machine. And this key pair is a combination of two keys. What are those two keys? Public and private key. So combination of public and private key. Public key is getting stored in cloud platform. Private key is getting download in our local machine. So to connect to this particular machine, I'm going to use private key, which is in my system, and the public key, which is in AWS account. So system is going to connect both the keys together, and then we are able to connect to this particular machine. If you see here in my AWS account, I already have existing keys also. If I want, I can use these keys also, but I'm not going to use these keys. I'm going to generate a new key. So click on create new key. Give the name. Let's take example. I'll give here as Linux 182-E. Name can be any name, but whenever you are giving the name to your key, you can give in the capital or small. It doesn't make any difference. Click on create key pair. Now, when I click on create key pair, here I'm getting it. I have stored that particular key in our batch 182. And here we have set. Next step. Here we don't need to do anything. The details which we are getting, network details, we need to go as it is as default details. But here we have something called security group. What is this security group? It's a firewall rules which I'm going to apply at this EC2 machine level whenever we want to connect to this particular machine. And to connect Linux machine, it is mandatory to enable a port number called SSH. Without enabling of SSH port number, it is not possible we can connect to this particular machine. And anyone knows the port number for SSH? Please confirm in the chat box. Correct. The port number is 22. And AWS is so smart. By default, they have enabled that particular port number. And source they have given as anywhere. Anywhere means if a person has public IP and that particular private key, he can connect from any of the location. But we have some more option also, custom also, my IP also. If you want, we can set those details also. Custom means I can specifically mention the IP address. Only from the specific IP address, we can connect to the machine. Third option is my IP. That I'm the person who can connect to this machine only from this particular IP address, not from any other IP address. But I'm giving as anyone. And whenever we are creating a security group, here is the name of my security group. It's a default name of the security group which we are getting from AWS side. But I don't want to use this default name. I want to use my own name. So click on edit, scroll down. Here I can give my own name. Now I'm giving my own name to the security group. It can be any name you can give. I'm just giving this security group name because for future reference, I have this name. So I can use the same security group for future machines also. And see here, for assisted, the port number is 20. Now, we have selected operating system, we have selected CPU and RAM. Now, what about hard disk? By default, 8 GB of the hard disk AWS is giving us. So I can go with the default 8 GB of the hard disk, but how much is coming under your free tier? 30 GB for each machine. For each machine, 30 GB of the hard disk is free. But I'm only giving us 8 GB right now. Because I don't need right now, because right now I'm not going to install anything in these machines. In our upcoming session, we are going to install something like Jenkins, we are going to install, we'll go with Docker. At that time, if you want, we can increase it. Right now, I don't need to do that. And how many machines I'm going to create? Only one machine. If you give 2 here, system will create 2 machines with same configuration. Right now, I don't need, so I'm just going with one single machine. AMI, instance type, security group, volume. Here we are. And then click on launch. Then, so we have created our machine here. Taking some time. Now our machine is in the running state. Next step. Next step is we need to connect to this particular machine. To connect to this particular machine, I need some software, means those called as terminals. There are a lot of terminals we have in the market. One is called Putty, other one is called Git Bash, or if I talk about hundreds of terminals we have. But which are very widely used in the market? Putty and Git Bash. So let's connect to our machine. Which one I'm going to show you? Right now I'm going to show you with Git Bash. So here I have the link to download Git Bash. I'm sharing the link in the chat box. With the help of this particular link, you can download the Git Bash. It supports Mac operating system, it supports Linux-based operating system, it supports Windows-based operating system. Which one I'm using? Windows. So click on Windows. So as per your system requirements, a 32-bit or a 64-bit, click on that. System is going to download the Git Bash. In Mac operating system, Putty does not support Shri. You need to use Git in Mac. Or even you have your own terminal also, the one which you have, you can go with that also. It's not mandatory even to install Git also in your system. So I have downloaded the Git in my local machine. Now what is the next step? I need to install. So double click on Git. Taking some time. Just click here and install. Now system is uninstalling the previous version because in my local machine, I already have Git installed. So now system is start installing the Git in my machine. Taking some time. Still taking more time. Done. Finish. Now I am able to install Git. Now after installation of the Git, what I need to do? I need to connect to this machine. So select this particular machine and click on connect. When I click on connect, here we have multiple options. The third option is go to SSH client. Under SSH client, here we have example. Copy the full example. Done. Now we need to open the Git. And from which location I need to open the Git? Can I open the Git from any of the location? No. It is mandatory to open the Git from the same location where you have stored your PEM file. I am requesting to please listen me very carefully. Those are new, they are doing this mistake. You need to open the Git from the same location where you have stored your PEM file. I have stored this PEM file in our batch 182. So I'm going to open the Git from the same location. How can I open it? Right click. Here I am. Open Git bash. And now the command which we have copied. Paste that command here. Enter. Are you sure you want to continue? Type as yes. Enter. And you can see here, I'm able to connect to my machine. So we are able to connect to our Linux EC2 machine. So it's very simple to connect our machine here. Now we have one more terminal called Putty also. How to connect with Putty, I'm going to show you in the next session. In this today's session, I have shown you how we can connect our Linux EC2 machine with Git bash. In our next session, I'm going to show you how we can connect with Putty also. I want you to familiar with both the tools because in real time, these are the tools which are very widely used, Git or Putty. Yes, I know that there are other terminals also. If you are comfortable with that, you can go with that also. Now, any question anyone have, please let me know. Yes, Praveen Sahu.
Yes, sir. So earlier I was trying to connect via PEM file to EC2 instance. It was giving that the permission is too generic. So, sir, I might need some help from you, but yeah, okay.
No, that's why I said that, Praveen. You are using your own in local machine you're trying to do? Which local machine you're using?
I mean, I have my system that is Windows and I'm trying to run via.
See, I don't need to provide any permissions, Praveen.
Right, okay.
So just try with the same process which I've done it, you can easily connect.
Okay.
Okay, there is no
mine.
permission required.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, sir.
Thank you. Yes, Ambuj.
Yeah, my question is like you told for 750 hours for EC2. So it is like from means if we stop and start means from the time of creation of
Running.
okay, running.
Running. Like if you might be notice it, I have 5 machines which are in the stop status. So it doesn't mean they are counting those 750 hours.
Okay, running. Okay.
Okay,
And
only running
yeah,
one.
okay, okay. And I was asking like for if, means for DevOps, like we will be doing all DevOps in this elements AWS only, like installing our everything on this Linux machine.
On
AWS.
cloud platform. Only on AWS cloud platform we are going to learn. We are not in this training, we are not going to work on any on other cloud platform. We'll completely learn everything on AWS cloud platform.
Okay, so that process we will learn after this AWS thing, no? Like
So
DevOps.
whenever we reach to that particular topic, we'll learn about all those things. Okay.
That SDLC and other things is that like all
Related to the topic, we'll learn it, Ambuj. Don't worry about that. Any more questions, Ambuj?
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Okay. Yes, Praveen. Praveen, you have raised your hand. Please unmute.
Yeah, sir. I tried with your approach also, then also getting permission denied.
Okay, I will check. Once you register for the course, please email me. I will check
Okay.
and try to resolve your issue.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
I can call Logic Labs and try to
They
do
are not
that.
going to help you, Praveen. They are not a technical person.
No.
Don't expect the help from their
No.
side that they will help you on the technical part.
For enrollment and all, I can call
Okay.
Logic Labs, right?
Yes, that we can do that.
Cool. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Suresh.
Hi, I missed yesterday's session. So where can I get that PPT and recording?
PPT, you are not getting PPT only to paid candidates, but recording, yes, you will get. We have already shared the recording in our WhatsApp group, and today recording also we will share in our WhatsApp group.
Today only I joined in the group. So if it is shared yesterday, I may missed it.
No, we are not sharing the PPT, Suresh. PPT is
No,
only to
not
paid
PPT,
candidates. Recording, we will share again.
Okay.
We'll share again day one recording again in the.
Okay. So in this course, you're going to cover. I mean, I have seen that course content, whichever is shared over the mail. So it is also talking about Kubernetes and a lot of stuff like Docker, Kubernetes, everything. So is it sufficient to search for the job? I mean, or some expert?
This is sufficient, Suresh. With the help of that, you can easily apply for the jobs.
Okay.
And at the end of the training, I'm going to share some interview questions also with you. With the help of that, you can easily clear the set interview also.
Okay, not a problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, Santosh.
Actually, we have created for account for Ubuntu, right?
Yes, we have created Ubuntu.
But later, we are download this Git for Linux.
Git is to connect to our machine. We have downloaded the Git so I can connect to my Linux machine.
So like if we selected Linux instead of Ubuntu, then the same thing we have to do, right?
No, you can create a Linux, you can create any Linux machine to connect to this particular one. Connect to your Windows machine, Linux machine, you can follow the same process. Git is a terminal which helps us to connect our Linux machine.
Okay, like whatever we are selecting, like Linux, Ubuntu, or
Ubuntu is a Linux. Ubuntu is a Linux-based operating system, Santosh. You can create Amazon Linux also. You can create Red Hat. Process is completely same to connect to those machines. There is no change in the process. Okay. Anyone have any more questions? Yes, Pathan, you can unmute. Pathan, you have raised your hand to ask your question. Need to unmute.
Oh, sorry. So Windows also have an CMD, right? Command line tool.
Yes, you can go with that also.
So,
Command prompt, you can go with this also. Even you can go with PowerShell also.
okay,
But
so we connect to instance through this line, right?
yes, you can do there also. But majorly in real time, we are not using these command prompt of PowerShell. We are using those terminals. That's why I'm informing you to go with those. Yes, if you want to go, you can go with this also.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Means it's for our convenience, right?
Yes.
We can use that terminal.
We can use that terminal also.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Ambuj.
Yeah, I was asking like reason for using Ubuntu, like we have other
There is no
Linux.
reason for that.
Okay.
While
Means I
practice,
was
you
like a
want to go
specific.
with Amazon Linux, you can go with Amazon Linux. You want to go with Red Hat, you can go with Red Hat also. There is no change in the process. Process is completely same.
Okay. No, I was like thinking any particular files or something is
No,
there in
no,
no.
no,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
nothing like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Means in future also we will practice on Ubuntu only, like
We can go with Ubuntu. It doesn't make any difference. The process is same. The only thing is we need to understand the process.
Okay.
After that, when you're doing practice, you can try on any of the Linux-based operating system. There is no change in the process.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Tree.
Okay. Just to understand, in this course, are we covering Ansible, Packer, Terraform as well in detail?
It is there in the course content, each and every single information stream. I'm requesting you to please refer the course content. You will get each and every single detail. What are the points which we are going to cover in the detail.
Okay, cool. And
Okay.
one more question, sorry. So you mentioned that it will be covered Jenkins as well. Is it only specific to AWS Jenkins or just overall?
Jenkins is same. It's not related to only to AWS because Jenkins is an open source tool. It's not AWS Jenkins. So Jenkins is common for all. So whatever we are going to let, it is common for all things.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay. Now, the machine which I have created right now, I don't need this machine right now anymore. So what can I do with this machine? I can delete this machine. Like if I talk about my previous batch, I have created a Docker machine. I need this machine in my upcoming sessions. But the machine which I have created right now for this 182 batch, I don't need this machine anymore right now. So what we can do after our practice, we can delete this machine. Delete means terminate. But yes, we have an option of stop. We can stop. So how we can do that? Select our machine, click on instance state. Here I am. Click on instance state. The first option is stop and the last option is stop. If I want to stop these machines in our upcoming session, when we learn about Jenkins or Docker, at that time, I'm going to stop these machines. But right now, I want to terminate this machine, means delete. So I'm going to terminate and click on terminate. So I have terminated this machine. And right now it is showing shutdown. And after a few seconds, it is going to show as terminated. And after a few hours, it is going to completely delete from your AWS console. And while practice, if you have any issue, like you will get timeout error message or no supported authentication method available, then here are the links you can check. And if you want to, you are using Mac operating system and you want to install Git, You can check here also. And just few minutes before, I have told you there are few regions which are by default disabled in our AWS account. So if you want to enable those regions, you can check here also. How to enable those regions, you can check that. Or might be if your client is using 20.04 version and they want to upgrade to 22.04, how you can do that, that also the details are given. So these are some useful links just for your self-learning I have given in my video. Once you receive this particular PPT, please refer these links just for your more knowledge. So with this, I'm ending the session. In next session, we'll learn more about our DevOps. Any question anyone have, please let me know. Yes, Santosh.
As you deleted this machine, we can stop also, right? So it will not count our hours.
No, if you want, you can stop these machines also, Santosh.
So that's like in next session or next practice, we can continue.
In our upcoming session, we are going to stop these machines whenever we require, because it's not possible to every day install Jenkins and do those practice. Okay, but
Yeah,
right now I don't need, that's why I've terminated this machine. Okay, in our upcoming session, whenever we require, definitely we are going to stop these machines. Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone have any more questions? Okay, so with this, I'm ending this session, and next session we have it on Monday. On Monday session, we are going to continue with our other topics. Thank you all. Thank you for joining today's session. See you on Monday. Have a happy weekend. Thank you.